Guess who I have with me today? I have none other than Lee Weingart. Lee, how you doing?
Hello, Senator. How are you? It is so good to see you.
It is so good to see you as well. And you are running for county executive in Cuyahoga County.
That's right.
In the great state of Ohio, with the center city, the main artery of the county being Cleveland, Ohio. You know I had to put that out there. I want everybody to know that Lee is the Republican running. Yeah, you heard me right. The Republican running for county exec. I did extend an invitation to Chris Ronayne, who is the Democrat running for county exec in Cuyahoga County, but unfortunately his schedule would not allow him to interview on Unbossed before election day, which is on the Tuesday, November the 8th. And we all understand that everybody's busy, but I wanna make sure that the viewing audience understands that I offered the opportunity to both candidates, and Lee is here right now. And Lee, if you were to win this race, you would be the first Republican county executive. I know that is true. Now, Cuyahoga County is overwhelmingly votes on the Democratic side of the ledger, Lee. And with so much turmoil going on the federal level, even some folks, and some of those folks are people like me, would say that the federal level GOP, they are engaged in some neo-fascism. January 6th comes to mind. Some of the folks that want to deny the results of the 2020 presidential election, even so much so they wanted to overthrow the government and use violence to do that. How do you, someone that is running in a county that overwhelmingly votes for Democrats, how do you deal with those two pressures?
I'm the last Republican to serve as county commissioner when we had an old form of government with 3 county commissioners 26 years ago. So I know how to win elections and serve in public office in Cuyahoga County. The good news about running for local office is that's really where you can fix problems and avoid the national discussion on issues that seem to separate this country. So running, and I've been running now for 2 years for this office, I started my campaign talking to folks in the urban core, because that's where we have our challenge. Cleveland is the poorest big city in America. It's the worst place to live if you're a black woman, and the worst place to start a business if you are a black entrepreneur. So I met with folks in the urban core to talk about issues that really mean something to them and to their families. So we formed an urban investment agenda that focuses on driving up the number of people who are owning their own homes to 10,000 more, I should say. Creating 4,000 good paying jobs in the urban core of the county that are within walking distance or bus distance of where people live. The one that's really important to me, a $10 million program to help urban entrepreneurs form and grow 250 new small businesses. It's really about empowerment. The only way that I know to correct injustices like unemployment, poverty, hopelessness, and crime is to invest. It's the way the suburbs got wealthy. So that same philosophy of investing in home ownership, job creation, and new companies will bring wealth that starts and stays in the urban core of Cuyahoga County.
And do you see that, Lee, is some of the most pressing problems for our county? I mean, let's face it, the poverty rate is almost 16%. Our poverty rate in Cuyahoga County is higher than that of the nation, and also higher than that of the state of Ohio in general. Is that, as you are traveling the county, what are some of the most pressing issues that people are talking to you about, and how do you plan to ameliorate those challenges, those problems?
I think that is the problem in Cuyahoga County, is poverty and lack of opportunity. And it comes down to investment decisions that have been made by the government for the past 20 years, since I left as county commissioner in the mid-1990s. Investments have been downtown in convention centers and a medical mart and a new hotel that the county owns, rather than investing in programs that help people in the neighborhoods of Cleveland and the first ring suburbs, which are also suffering like the neighbors of Cleveland are.
Yes.
So I think if we change our focus perspective and we really invest in programs that help people and families and neighborhoods, we can address unemployment and poverty. And when you address those, you also address crime. We know neighborhoods that have high incidences of private home ownership are safer than those without. We know that people who have jobs don't commit crimes. The people who have companies generate wealth for themselves and their families. This is how we bring back Cleveland to the greatness it had 50, 60, 70 years ago.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We definitely have to work on poverty. You know, half of Cleveland's children are living in poverty. We have one of the highest poverty rate among children in the country, and that is that. And if the child is hungry, that means that their family is not doing well at all. It always boggles my mind how we separate the child from the rest of the family, because if the children are going to bed hungry at night, that means that their parents are going to bed hungry at night, and any siblings that they may have. Lee, politics is not without controversy. There's a controversy swirling right now. There was an article written accusing you of having a quid pro quo for support. Can you address that allegation?
Sure, I would be happy to. So my opponent has got a real problem in the Black community. When he ran a police force, he was targeting Black drivers. 94% of the tickets issued by his police force issued to Black drivers. Last year in December, he tried to extort a Black man out of the race for county executive, the mayor of Warrensville, by sending him a threatening text message weeks before that mayor announced for county executive. And now he's attacking Bashir Jones, a former city council member, and accusing him of selling his endorsement to me. It's a ridiculous argument. We sponsored a conference that Bashir was part of, had nothing to do with an endorsement. It was an opportunity for our campaign to speak to seniors and small businesses. That's what it was, and that's what we intended it to be. And my opponent knows that. His challenge is he's got a problem in the Black community, and I don't. We'll win a lot more votes there than we should as a Republican, and I'm very proud of our endorsements. I'm proud of the things we've done the last 2 years to position ourselves for a historic victory next Tuesday.
But people certainly do not want to see business as usual, not in our county and not in this nation. And a lot of folks, as I have traveled not only this county but this nation, they are tired of politics as usual. Let me ask you this final question. What is something that you can share with people that they would not read in your bio?
Well, my bio talks about my family, and I'm very proud of my wife, who started a small business last year, a bakery, and my 3 children who've done very well. They're now all grown. You might not know that I love to run. I run 1,000 miles a year. To me, it's the best way to clear my mind and begin my day. So I'm a firm believer in being on the road, running and thinking while I run. And I've been thinking a long time about getting back into elective office. That's why I chose this office of county executive. If you really want to fix the system, if you want to help people, you start at the local level. We've had a failing county government for the past 25 years. I think I can bring back success and ideas and investment in the right parts of this county to make Cuyahoga County the best place to live, work, raise your family, and retire for all of us.
Well, the voters, Lee, will certainly have the final say come November the 8th. Thank you so much, Lee Weingart, for being.
Thank you, Senator. It's great to see you. Have a great rest of your day.
You as well. Thank you, sir.